guys, we are completely out of everything, so I'm taking you with me to do a full restock. We're going to Costco and Winco. I'm going to show you everything we got and how I prep it. For some reason, we ran out of a lot of our household essentials all at the same time, so I did make a list with me so I wouldn't forget anything. And while I was cruising around Costco, I did find these cookware sets, and I'm kind of eyeballing a new one maybe for my birthday. If you have tried any of these and if you have one that you recommend, please let me know down below what you would suggest. All of my non-stick pans are now kind of sticking, so I feel like that Teflon part is kind of all scraped up. If you have something you'd recommend, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, while walking through Costco, I noticed that all of the summer stuff is out and we are so excited. These kale salads are so good. I bought one about 2 weeks ago and I just have not stopped eating them. They're so delicious. We were also out of ground beef and we eat a lot of ground beef, so I did grab some of that. I was feeling salmon. Me and the kids absolutely love salmon. It's one of our favorite fishes. It's right up there with tilapia for us, and we always get the wild caught. I think that's the one that tastes the best. I saw these Brazilian cheesy breads at Costco in the freezer side, and I had never seen these before. I make Brazilian cheesy bread quite often for my kiddos as a snack, and I'm going to show you how to make it. In a blender, I'm going to add 1 cup of Chihuahua cheese and half a cup of mozzarella cheese. You can definitely switch out your cheeses. I've done it with cheddar cheese before. 1 cup of whole milk, half a cup of a neutral oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 large egg, 2 cups of tapioca starch, and just blend everything together for about a minute or so. Then I grabbed this silicone mini muffin tin that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to fill it about 3/4 of the way. I'm baking this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes. I typically do the full 20 minutes. You can adjust that to your liking. And I also got this new wall mount suction tripod, so keep an eye out for new angles. Here's the cheesy bread. The cheese pull is so good. I just let it cool down for about 3 to 4 minutes and dish up the kids with some Prego sauce, or you can use marinara. If you like mozzarella sticks or anything like that, you should definitely give this a try. You're going to love it. Did you know just one of these tortillas has 17 grams of fiber? That's basically your daily intake of fiber in just one tortilla. All in all, I think we did pretty good at Costco. I grabbed every single thing on my list, and a lot of this is going to last us for months. The total came out to $443 plus tax, and I did have a $15 rebate, so we paid $428 in total. And this day was Valentine's, and the kiddos were at grandma's, so after Costco, we did sneak off to this ramen place that I like to get some pho, some crab ragoons, and it was just so much fun, and the food was delicious. If you've never been to a Winco, I highly recommend checking one out. I feel like their produce is always so fresh, their fruits and vegetables. They also have this bulk section where you can get lots of flours and beans. Here's where I bought my tapioca starch. It's very affordable, and the bag kept breaking, so I had to double bag it for some reason. I don't know why all the bags had little holes in them. And I am checking my list at Winco as well. At Winco, I'm not so strict with my list. I kind of just eyeball everything. If it feels like I'm not in the mood for something in these next 2 weeks, then I'm not going to go ahead and grab it. A lot of their produce is very affordable too. I have seen people compare it to an Aldi. I don't live anywhere near an Aldi, but this is the most affordable grocery store in my area. It is about 30 minutes away from where I live. So affordable. When I was newly married, I did price match all of our local grocery stores, and this one beat it every single time. Growing up, my mom also always shopped at a Winco, so I feel like that just kind of stuck with me. I like the flavor of the proteins. I know what I'm gonna get. I feel like I already kind of know what they carry, and I like it. So it's just where our family shops now. Every family is their own little world. They have their own favorite places that they shop at. These are just ours. We do Costco and Winco for the bulk of our groceries. And then every now and then I will go into Walmart about every 2 months, 2.5 months or so, or I will place a Walmart order for specific hygiene items that I cannot get at Winco, or if there's trending ingredients like brand new seasonings or things that I want to try that aren't carried at Winco. Typically, Walmart always has them. The latest of whatever is trending online, any food item, I can always find it at Walmart. So I will do that sometimes. But if we're doing a big grocery haul bi-weekly like we always do, it will be done at Winco. And I did find these tortillas here. I was trying to do the math, and it's still a few cents cheaper to get them at Costco. I was also out of chicken bouillon, and I am Hispanic, so we cannot cook without chicken bouillon. We need it for most recipes, and it is a little bit expensive. It's about $10 a bottle, and I was also out of these two seasonings, which are my favorite. The total came out to $2.79 and 11 cents with tax, which was a little over what I like to spend at Winco bi-weekly. I try to stick to around $200, $250 max. Keep in mind, we were out of a lot of stuff. That chicken bouillon alone was $10, and then I did get 2 packets of ham instead of one, 2 containers of milk instead of one, because my husband has been making homemade ice creams for the kids with a little creamy machine. We got Oreo thins for the toppings in the ice cream, and I did get quite a bit of meat. I homeschool my boys, so what I'm feeding them is breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks, everything for about 2 weeks that we're going to actually consume. And then a lot of these things are going to sit in the freezer and the pantry as well. Like in the next 2 weeks, I'm definitely not going to finish this whole packet of ground beef. There is going to be cheeses left over in the freezer, chicken. So this isn't just for 2 weeks, it's going to be a little bit over. And then there's also ingredients here that are going to stay in the pantry for a little longer. I do have stuff at home. I wasn't completely at zero. We were just really low on a lot of things. These juices, we don't always get them for the kids, but every now and then we do like to splurge. We were out of cashews, which the kids love to snack on. And my husband wanted to try these mini pies that we froze. I was out of seasonings. We also got him a big container of popcorn, which we always don't do, but now it's going to sit in the pantry for a little bit. We got them these mini bags to try. And I was also out of tin foil. This was $30, which I know is very expensive, but I do not plan on buying tin foil for the rest of the year. I also grabbed a little bit of candies. Like I said, we live in a very tiny town. There is, for the longest time, we had one grocery store. Now we have two, and they tend to mark up things super high. So we try to avoid it as much as possible. Unless I run out of 1 or 2 items, then we'll go ahead and pop up in town to our local grocery store. My husband did find this Greek Freak seasoning at Costco. He went in earlier in the week to get water bottles, and he said that they had samples, that they had placed crackers with cream cheese and a little bit of the seasoning, and that it was so good. I'm going to try to figure out some recipes on where I can use this. I'm guessing to marinate chicken, it might be really good. So if you ever get a chance to try this, go ahead and give it a try. The kids absolutely loved it. It was a perfect little snack. My husband has also been loving these sweet potato chips. They're very healthy. We also got tapioca starch to make the kiddos snacks. My 4-year-old was asking for Fruit Loops for about 2 weeks, so we did go ahead and give in. I also got a pizza stone for Christmas, so we've been making more homemade pizzas, and this King Arthur 00 flour is so good, and it was so cheap, about $4.97. We also got breads. I've been trying to drink kefir more often, which is just live probiotics for good gut health. I didn't show it in the video, but behind my grocery list for Winco, I did have a list of a few meals that I could make throughout the next 2 weeks. And I did decide on salmon and asparagus, so I did grab asparagus. I do drink a lot of caffeine, so I just found it's a lot cheaper to just buy them at the grocery store as opposed to going to the gas station. For our paper items, I did run out of paper plates and cups. The paper plates I go through a lot faster than the cups. Those last us for months. And then I also did need toilet paper, paper towels, detergent, and these little downy soft beads. I'm not sure what they're called. And we were sick most of this month, so I did need to replenish our tissue boxes, and we're trying to potty train still, so I still needed a box of wipes. We also found this Kinder ice cream that the kids really loved. One of the ways that we have found to save money is to separate our meat. As soon as we get back from the grocery store, I like to go ahead and start separating the meat. If I was to freeze this whole container, I would have to figure out a way to eat these whole 5 chicken breasts right away, which is going to be very, very hard for us since our kids are very young still. I do 1 chicken breast in 1 Ziploc bag. These containers always come in a set of 5 breasts. That's actually where my 1 chicken breast series started when we were newly married. I always found that I just had 1 chicken breast left over, so I always picked the biggest one, and that's what we used. To do the Ziploc bags, I do a bigger breast and then a smaller breast per each little Ziploc bag, and I try to get about the same amount per bag. It's a little under 2 pounds, and then for 1 breast, I just pick the biggest one, which is typically around a pound. I kind of do the same thing with my ground beef. This packet has 6 pounds of meat, and I'm going to try to separate it evenly. I'm not going to get it right, but I just kind of like to section it off because it gives me a good start. And I do label the Ziploc bags first with Sharpie and let them dry. For these ground beef packets from Costco, I like to get around 5 Ziploc bags, and I do like for me to separate these a little over a pound, about 1.5 pounds or 1.4 pounds. That's typically what I have found that I like, so I make sure I get a container that's a little over 6 pounds. So I just kind of eyeball it when I cut it with a knife, and then that just gets me a good start for my Ziploc bags, and I just fill up all 5 of them. If you can see from the video, every little Ziploc bag shows a different amount on the scale. So now I'm just taking a little bit from the ones that have more, around 1.5, and I start adding it to the ones that have a little bit less meat, around 1.3, until I get almost 1.4 for all of the Ziploc bags. I think 4 of them had exactly 1.4, and then another one of them had like 1.42, just a little bit over, and I was happy with that. I just tried to kind of get the same amount so that it's easier and cohesive, and I just know that whenever I grab one of these bags from the freezer, they're all going to be about the same amount. So I just do that, and then I just push it down to make sure that there is no air left in these, and then I throw this in the freezer. Whenever we need some meal that's quick and easy, these come in so handy. Also, we grabbed our kiddos these mini water bottles. For some reason, they love it and they waste a lot less. My husband has also been loving these protein shakes, and he wanted to try the vanilla this time, so we did go ahead and do that. Then I started organizing our linen closet. That's where I keep all of our toilet paper, paper towels. I think that we were completely out of toilet paper, so this was the perfect time. I had 2 baby wipes left, and I had about 3 paper towels left in the closet. What I think I'm going to do, and what I did start doing, is in my planner, I wrote the day that we went to the grocery store and that we bought all of our paper towels, toilet paper, baby wipes, plates, and I'm going to start keeping track on how fast I go through these things. I am thinking about 6 weeks, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these things last us over 2 months. I'm not exactly sure, but I would like to have some sort of notion on how fast I'm going through these items in the house. And obviously, if we're sick and the kids are vomiting or there's accidents, I'm going to go through more paper towels. So I do want to keep a better eye on all of this. And every time I get to do a big haul like this, I feel so grateful and so thankful to God that we are able to fill our home with all of our necessities and then some extras. We have all of the food that we need. We have enough to be able to have a little reserve, to have all of the snacks that the kids want. I'm just so thankful to God, and I just can't help but feel so grateful and just thankful every time I look at everything that we have purchased and I just look at a stocked house. I'm just so grateful. God is always with us, and I just feel like if you take care of everything that He gives you and you do a good job, He will eventually bless you with more. If you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great week, and let me know what you want to see next.